Welcome to your cybersecurity briefing. It's like every day there's a new digital threat to worry about. Am I right?
It's relentless.
It really is. So today we're doing things a little differently. We're tapping into two really unique German sources to get you the intel you need.
Oh, this is interesting. What have you got?
First, we're diving into tsecurity.de. Imagine a news site that updates so often it makes your head spin. Like every 15 minutes, new headline, bang.
Okay, so I'm already intrigued. That's a lot to keep up with. What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Everything. I mean, from super niche vulnerabilities to like the big picture cybersecurity trends, it's almost overload, honestly, but that's why we're here, to break it down.
Makes sense. So we're getting a curated dose of cybersecurity chaos. I can handle that.
Exactly. Curated chaos. I like that. All right, so speaking of chaos, how about exploding pagers?
Wait, what? Exploding, like going up in flames?
You heard right. tsecurity.de was all over this story out of Lebanon. Thousands of these things just simultaneously went on the fritz.
Okay, that's strange. But I gotta say, I kind of thought pagers were, extinct.
Well, that's the thing, right? Turns out they're not. And this wasn't just some random tech glitch. There are some technical details hinting at possible, wait for it, cyber manipulation.
Now that's unsettling. It really makes you think about all that outdated technology we just assume is harmless because it's, well, outdated.
Right, like that box of old gadgets in your attic could be a ticking time bomb.
Right. You got me wanting to go on a digital detox just thinking about it.
Yeah. Don't toss your smartphone just yet. tsecurity.de also had this headline that, honestly, I had to read twice. Windows vulnerability abuses Braille spaces in zero-day attacks.
Okay, that one sounds straight out of a hacker movie. What's the deal with Braille spaces?
Right. It's wild. So a zero-day attack, that's when hackers exploit a weakness in a system that no one even knows about yet, not even the people who made the system. In this case, they found a way to use how Windows processes Braille, like for screen readers, to sneak in malware.
Wow, so even the features you never think twice about could be an entry point. That's a little unnerving, isn't it?
Totally, and it makes you think, what other seemingly harmless things are just waiting to be exploited, right?
Exactly. And it highlights the constant arms race in cybersecurity. Developers are always trying to stay one step ahead, but the attackers are relentless. Speaking of things that are hard to stay ahead of, tsecurity.de also had an article about Nevada potentially using Google AI to speed up, wait for it again, unemployment benefit appeals.
AI making governmental decisions. That's a whole other conversation.
It is. And it raises a ton of questions. Like, on the one hand, AI could make things more efficient, but what about bias in algorithms and data privacy? It's not as simple as just automating everything. This really shows how cybersecurity is tied to so much more than just our devices. It's about our privacy, our rights, the whole shebang.
It really makes you think, what are actual people worried about with all this? So let's go straight to the source and see what's got people talking in the cybersecurity world over on Reddit, specifically our Computersicherheit. It's a forum for German speakers, and let me tell you, these folks don't hold back.
I always find these online communities fascinating. It's like getting a raw, unfiltered look at what's keeping security folks up at night. You get seasoned pros alongside people who are totally new to the cybersecurity world, all sharing their experiences. It's refreshing, honestly.
It's like that fly-on-the-wall perspective you don't get from official news sources. So one thing that's generating a ton of buzz is OpenAI's latest creation, GPT-01. Have you heard about this thing? Some people are saying it's practically reached PhD-level intelligence, which, let's be honest, is a little freaky.
Yeah, GPT-01 has really captured people's imaginations, both good and bad. There's this almost sci-fi element to it, like, is this AI going to be the ultimate cybersecurity defender, anticipating threats before they even happen? Or will it be the thing that ends up hacking us all?
It's like a cybersecurity superhero origin story waiting to happen. And speaking of high-stakes stories, our Computersicherheit has also been buzzing about the U.S. crackdown on Intellexa. That's the spyware company that's been making headlines.
Yeah, that whole situation is a stark reminder that cybersecurity isn't just about protecting data, it's about protecting people. Intellexa's spyware was reportedly used to target journalists, activists, even politicians. It's chilling to think about.
Absolutely. It's a whole other level of invasion when you think about it like that. But sometimes the biggest threats are the ones we least expect, right? Like, who knew a humble Excel spreadsheet could be so dangerous?
Right. Our Computersicherheit had some cautionary tales about that, too. Turns out, even something as simple as an Excel file can be weaponized.
Wait, seriously, I use Excel like every day.
And that's exactly what cybercriminals are counting on. They hide malicious code, in these seemingly harmless files, and boom, as soon as you open it, they can potentially take control of your entire system.
I gotta say, it's pretty wild to think that something as simple as an Excel file or even a pager can be such a powerful weapon in the wrong hands, right? This whole deep dive has really been an eye-opener.
It has. We've covered so much ground, from those exploding pagers to AI potentially making decisions about unemployment benefits.
Talk about a range of topics.
And it all points to the same thing.
Yeah.
The cybersecurity landscape is changing faster than ever. We can't just focus on protecting our devices anymore. It's about our privacy, our freedom, heck, even our physical safety, all tied into this digital world.
It's true, and it often feels like we're one step behind, right? Like, who knew pagers would be a vulnerability in 2024? It just goes to show what we think is secure today might be a weakness tomorrow.
Absolutely. And as technology gets more advanced, so do the tactics of the folks who want to exploit it. We're talking AI-powered attacks, phishing scams that are getting scarily good, and threats that leverage the fact that everything is interconnected nowadays. It's a whole new ballgame.
And the thing is, with all this fancy tech, it still often comes down to us, right? Human error. Whether it's falling for a phishing email, accidentally enabling a malicious macro, or just using a weak password, we're often the weakest link. Both tsecurity.de and those Reddit users really drove that point home.
Couldn't agree more. Cybersecurity awareness and education are more important than ever. We all need to be playing on defense, from individuals at home to major corporations.
So for everyone listening, here's the takeaway, and it's a big one. If something as seemingly insignificant as a pager can be a gateway for an attack, what else in your home or workplace is vulnerable? It's a question worth asking yourself today. Thanks for joining us for another cybersecurity deep dive. Until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay informed.